Hello, and welcome back to MalChava Cuisine with me, Miss Naomi Mbungu. I wanted to wish you all a happy new year to 2017. May this year be a blessed year for all of you guys. And I also wanted to say thank you for your wonderful support, how you supported me when I started MalChava Cuisine in 2016. The love was tremendous. Thank you so much. And this year we're going to come back with so much videos, events, and also catering activities that will be held as well by MalChava Cuisine. So this year is going to be saturated with so much greatness and goodness by the Lord's grace. So stay tuned. And to start off 2017, I decided to do this wonderful recipe. Enjoy this, guys. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys my version of making jollof rice with some beef and mixed peppers. This is a wonderful recipe. You can make this for friends, families, and it's also very quick. And we have some plantain to the side. I've done numerous of videos where I've done plantain as well, but today's video is going to be more focused on the jollof rice and also the beef with the mixed peppers. Stay tuned for this video. In order to make our jollof rice, we will be needing the following: 2 onions, 2 to 3 red bell peppers, 2 red chili peppers, 5 tomatoes, 1 can of plum or chopped tomato, 1 tube of tomato puree, 7 cups of long grain rice. For our spices, we will be needing the following: chili powder, all-purpose seasoning, Maggi cubes, garlic powder, curry powder, jumbo all-purpose seasoning, mixed herb, chicken stock, and also some Knorr cubes. First things is first, to chop all of the vegetables together, the onions, the peppers, and the tomatoes, and place this in a bowl. We're going to use this to blend and process our tomato base for the jollof rice. Now we're going to add in our peppers, onion, and tomato in the food processor. We're going to blend this until smooth, and also we're going to add in our tomatoes, our canned tomatoes, into the food processor. We're going to blend this all well together in order to create our base for our jollof rice. Just a quick tip: in order for the food processor to process the food really well, you can add in half a cup of water in order for this to mix well within the food processor, because sometimes the vegetables can get a bit clogged up and not processed at all. So as you can see, I've added in half a cup of the water to blend all the vegetables together. Now, in order to make our sauce, in a large cooking pot, I placed in 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and I added in 1 chopped onion. This will act as our base for our jollof rice, okay? And I'm going to simmer this away until the onion softens. Once the onions have softened, pour in the blended tomatoes and peppers into the oil mixture and allow this to simmer through. So in order for your tomato to not taste bitter, you will need to allow this to simmer on the lower heat. So the jollof rice mixture requires a lot of simmering, and once you simmer this away, you need that tomato mixture, that tomato flavor to be really enhanced, and you don't want that bitter tomato flavor as well. So allow this to simmer through on a medium to low heat. I then added in the entire tube of the tomato puree. The tomato puree is very important for making jollof rice, as it will give it that red, rich color. So add this in gradually and then mix it well with the blended tomatoes and also the blended peppers on a medium to low heat. And the tomato puree can easily burn, so place this on a moderate heat so it doesn't burn as well. So mix this well, instead of blending. Mix this all well, and once that's done, we're going to then add in our flavorings. I then added in 3 bay leaves into the tomato mixture, followed by 5 Maggi cubes and 2 Knorr cubes as well. And I also added in 2 heaped tablespoons of garlic powder into the mixture, and I mixed this well on a medium to low heat, ensuring that the sauce was not burning on the pot down below. I did add a little bit of extra oil because I felt as if the oil that I added in wasn't enough and I didn't want this to burn. Okay, and I mixed this well on a medium to low heat. I then added in 2 tablespoons of jumbo all-purpose seasoning. I then added in 2 tablespoons of chili powder. This could be any brand of chili powder or even paprika, even if you don't have that chili powder. The reason why I added chili powder is because I didn't add any Scotch bonnet. This was just a personal preference because I was making this for my family and not everyone eats spicy food. So I preferred the mild chili powder, followed by the mild garlic powder as well. Same again, 2 tablespoons of that. And I'm going to mix that in well within the mixture. A great flavor enhancement for the jollof rice. Okay, as you can see, I added in the 2 tablespoons of the curry powder, followed by all-purpose seasoning. The all-purpose seasoning, I also added in 2 tablespoons of this as well. Okay, this is a wonder flavor enhancement again, and you can use any type of all-purpose seasoning. Really great to bring out that extra flavor in the jollof rice. I then also added in some mixed herbs as well, which is the same brand of the all-purpose seasoning, which is All Rivers. You can find this in Sainsbury's or any local store that sells amazing flavorings. So I added in a tablespoon of that, or even an extra tablespoon as well. As I always mention, season to your desired taste or flavoring. We're then going to use some chicken stock to enhance our flavor for the jollof rice. So I've used Knorr chicken flavoring stock cubes. I'm going to use 1 of these stock cubes and I'm going to dissolve this in warm water. And I place this in a medium-sized bowl or any sized bowl of your choice. And this will just allow the jollof rice to have that chicken flavor. And once this has dissolved, I'm then going to pour this into the tomato mixture. Once this has dissolved, I'm going to add that into the tomato mixture, and using the same bowl, I'm going to add in 4 to 5 cups of water into the tomato sauce, because we need to have a wonderful, rich and dense and heavy sauce for our jollof rice to cook really well. Bearing in mind, I made this for 6 to 8 servings of people, so this is a large quantity. So you should make this according to the servings or the amount of people who will be eating the jollof rice. So for this recipe, it's for a maximum of 8 people. Okay, so I added in the water and I'm going to allow this to simmer for a good 10 to 15 minutes or until it is thick and it makes a wonderful sauce. For the rice, I tend to use a small sieve and I wash this in different sections. So I wash it per cup and I use a sieve and I wash this until I see the water is clear and there's no more starch within the rice mixture. You can also parboil this as well, but for this recipe I prefer to just wash the rice under a cold tap and I will place this inside the tomato sauce, but this is just personal preference. So I wash the rice until I see it is running clear and the starch is no longer present within the rice. Add in the washed long grain rice into the tomato sauce. I would advise you that you add this in gradually because the jollof rice requires a lot of mixing. So you wouldn't want to put it all in. So add it in gradually and see with your eyes whether or not you should stop to add the rice or continue to add it on the rice. So I add this in and I'm mixing this gradually. So I've added this in and I'm going to give it a little mix and I'm going to add it in again. As I mentioned, I wash the rice gradually per cup just for the purpose of this video, or you can wash it in large quantities as well. So you add it in and you mix it in together. And you can now see that the rice has well incorporated with the tomato mixture. So the rice and the tomato mixture is on the similar level or on the same level. In order for your jollof rice to cook really well, you would require your rice and the tomato sauce to be at the same level, and continue to make this on a medium to low heat. So keep mixing this. In order for the rice to cook and for not to burn on the bottom of the pot, you will need to continue mixing and mixing and mix it for a good 5 minutes or so, until you feel as if the sauce is beginning to reduce down. So keep mixing it well and well and well. Mix it well enough until you see that the rice has absorbed some of the tomato sauce, and keep mixing this well. The jollof rice does require a lot of arm muscle and a lot of arm action, so please be ready for this. So keep mixing this really well until you have reached this stage. And what we're going to do next is very vital in order for us to get or achieve that individual grain of the jollof rice and not that mushy rice. Cover the rice pot with cling film. This will allow the rice to cook well on the low heat and will allow it to steam, and cling film will act as a steam enhancer for the rice to cook individually and at that perfect texture. After 8 to 10 minutes of allowing the rice to cook on a medium or low heat, remove the cling film and give it another mix again. Mix this carefully and thoroughly to ensure that there's no burning underneath the rice, and then we're going to recover again with the cling film for it to continue cooking. So do this throughout the time that you're making the jollof rice, so that each grain has that right consistency and texture of cooked rice. After an extra 8 minutes of cooking the rice, this is how you should achieve the jollof rice, and this is the finished product. You can see here that it's each individual grain and it is not mushy, and each grain of rice is cooked according to the right texture and consistency. So here it is, guys, the jollof rice. And now we're going to go into the second part to see how I made the beef and mixed peppers. In a large bowl, I added in 2 tablespoons of mustard, followed by 5 Maggi Cubes and also 2 tablespoons of nutmeg. I'm going to mix this all into the beef, and this is going to act as a wonderful flavor enhancement for our beef. So it doesn't require a lot of flavorings. So it's just the Maggi Cubes, nutmeg and the mustard. The mustard will soften the beef whilst this will be cooking as well. Followed by this, I'm also going to add in 1 tablespoon of mixed herbs, and I'm going to mix this all well together. I then added 1 tablespoon each of garlic powder, jumbo all-purpose seasoning, and also 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and mix this all well together with the beef. I then added in 3 tablespoons of chopped tomato and mixed that all well together, followed by the vegetables, which is 1 onion, 1 red bell pepper, 1 yellow bell pepper, and also some spring onions as well. And I'm going to mix that all in together. So I added in 4 spring onions, and I'm going to mix that all well together and allow this to marinate for 2 to 4 hours on the same day if it's going to be cooked on the same day, or even overnight as well if you're going to cook this the following day. And allow this to marinate and mix this well together. Once marinated, I'm going to place the beef inside the halogen oven and cook for 25 to 40 minutes on a medium to low heat. And of course, occasionally I'm going to overlook this and I'm going to be mixing the beef. And whilst the beef will be cooking, it will also produce a wonderful sauce. You can also oven bake this as well. You can also fry this, or you can also grill this as well. But I prefer to cook this in the halogen oven. And here we have it, guys, the finished product, our jollof rice with beef and mixed peppers with onion and also spring onions, with plantain also to the side. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for much more videos. Thank you so much for tuning into MalChava Cuisine, and until next time, stay tuned for much more cooking.